Next question. Are there needs specific to historic neighborhoods and local historic districts? If so, how will you meet those needs? Mr. Paddock.
Yes, thank you. We debated at the West Central Neighborhood Forum last week and addressed some of those issues. And we're concerned about making sure that the zoning laws that we have are going to be respectful of the historic nature. Like I mentioned, all of us here own older homes in this district, and we want to make sure that they are maintained, and we want to make sure that the money that we're putting into them is going to make a difference as far as the value of our lives and the value of our neighborhoods. I think that there are times when we have to make sure that we preserve historic integrity. And certainly Wildwood Park, Southwood Park, West Central, where we have been, are very concerned about specific things. Then we discussed those a little bit last week, and some are the truck ordinances, that we want to make sure that traffic coming into the downtown area on Rudisill and in other areas aren't disturbing the structural integrity of some of our older homes and older buildings. And I think that has to be weighed very specifically as opposed to the right for commerce in our community. Perhaps we can discuss that further. I know my time's up.
Mr. Ferguson?
Well, as Jeff said, we did discuss that at the West Central meeting, the historical houses over there in the West Central area. And I've always been very much in favor of the old buildings. We've lost too much already. I miss the old blue bus station downtown. I miss the People's Bank building downtown that had marble floors and columns in the lobby and real teller cages. And probably some other things that I've forgotten about now, but I remember those too. And I miss them, and I want to preserve anything that I can. Anything that's old. We mentioned the brick streets that are over in that area, and those need to be restored and protected, and they're a nice piece of Fort Wayne history along with the houses. And I'd be very much in favor of just preserving anything old that we can. I don't want to see anything old get torn down.
Mr. Hall?
Historical neighborhoods have got so many things going for them, and then so many potential handicaps as far as where the world is today, where it was 100 years ago, from relatively narrow streets that weren't built for duplex homes that now have 4 cars allotted to a house that might have originally only had 1 75 years ago. Narrow alleyways that weren't built necessarily for heavy vehicle traffic. Some brick streets, some brick alleys. Things that are nice features, but present problems in the way that the neighborhood is now versus when it was originally developed. I think a councilman has got to be particularly responsive to neighborhood associations, and there's the real key right there. Active neighborhood associations that know exactly what it is, the impediments to keeping things the historical nature of their neighborhood and the way they want it, but with the concern with the realities of the world right now. You've got organizations like Arch that help support things like that and find funding to try to preserve some historical structures, but there is an awful lot of things there, and I think a big interaction with the neighborhood associations has got to be key.